What up, sports fans? Waxon Wednesday. Jake Waxman Talava. Let two guys talk sports. Let's do this. All right, preseason football underway. So I guess as a Bears fan, I owe you guys some takeaways from what I saw. I thought our first team looked really, really strong, especially Justin Fields. He came out, had a few snaps, but he did really, really well, I think, in those few snaps. Threw for 2 touchdowns as well. Led a couple good drives, showed a lot of good things in his game. So we'll see if that transfers to the regular season. You know, a lot of what ifs still. I thought the running game looked good. Didn't see much out of the defense, but I know that's still kind of a work in progress. So time will tell on a lot of these issues. So, but overall, there's a lot of promising signs. A lot of promising things to look at. So really, really excited as a Bears fan. And of course, again, like I said, it's only preseason, doesn't mean much, but it's nice to see because this is going to be a big year for Justin Fields, and this is a put up or shut up year. And it's nice to see him doing some good things, even in preseason, to get the ball rolling, to show, okay, I'm ready to progress. And remember, second year under Luke Getsy's system, so it takes a year to learn. And now that he has some more wide receivers, that should help a lot, too. But a lot of promising signs for the Bears offense. Defense, time will tell, but more importantly, Justin Fields looked really good, and it looks like he's making some headway. And we'll see if he plays any more snaps, but there's some promise. And now speaking of the NFL preseason, so all of us are wondering, who's going to be that guy that rises up in the preseason and gets an NFL starting spot? Will it be a running back, maybe a linebacker, or a quarterback, or some like a kicker, for example? Like, who's going to show off in the preseason and end up winding up with a starting job? Well, I do have a name to suggest. Now, I don't think he'll earn the starting job right away, but who knows? It just depends on what happens. But this is a name to keep in mind. Raiders quarterback Aiden O'Connell. I like what I saw from him in he started the preseason for the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo did not play any snaps, but Aiden O'Connell played quite a few snaps, and honestly, I liked what I saw from him. And there were moments where I thought he looked even more comfortable in the pocket than he has in all of his years at Purdue. Not that he didn't have times in the pocket at Purdue University where he didn't look comfortable, but I think the lessons that he's learned from Purdue are really helping him in the preseason thus far, and he showed it. Led a couple drives and that resulted in touchdowns. I mean, he really moved the offense very well. I thought he looked poised. He was throwing great passes, throwing some dimes. His mechanics looked really, really good. So while I don't think he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders right away, I wouldn't be surprised to see him as a backup. But if something were to happen to Jimmy Garoppolo, where he gets hurt or can't play for the rest of the year, I hope Jimmy G doesn't get hurt, first and foremost. I hope he doesn't. But if it comes to the point where Jimmy G gets hurt again, I think the Raiders can relax a bit, knowing Aiden O'Connell will be ready to step up and play some football at the big boys level. And I think that, and in time, whether it's with the Raiders or a different organization, I think Aiden O'Connell has the tools to be an NFL caliber quarterback. I think that, or at the very least, a franchise quarterback. Legend, I won't go that far yet, but I think that, given time and, given experience, O'Connell, he could do some good things in this league, whether it's as a backup or starting quarterback, I think there's talent there and there is promise. And Aiden's showing it. Like, he looks comfortable, mechanics are good. And I kind of thought, even in his Purdue days, he seems to have everything NFL scouts could want in a quarterback. So, again, don't think he's definitely not going to be the starter right away. That's going to be Jimmy G. But in the event that Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, I think Aiden O'Connell can step up and do some good things for the Raiders. And I think even the Raiders understand that too. So I'm very excited to see what more he does in the preseason and where things go from here once we get to the regular season. But a lot of good things that I saw from Aiden O'Connell. I'll say again, Aiden O'Connell. Remember that name. All right. Curious question for you football fans. How many of you have seen the movie called The Blind Side? I've seen that too, The Blind Side. It was a pretty heartwarming movie about a man by the name of Michael Orr and his family, the Tuohys, or the family that adopted him. Unfortunately, this movie has become relevant again, and unfortunately, not for the right reasons. That's right. So now, initially, the reports were coming out that Michael Orr was actually suing the Tuohys, but now I'm hearing something about that he's actually not suing them. Rather, he's trying to put an end to the relationship between both sides, pretty much. So in case you're wondering, Michael Orr claims that he actually was not adopted by the Tuohys. Rather, he was signed into what is called a conservativeship. So that's kind of a relationship, in case you're wondering, where basically you sign an agreement that you join like a certain family, but they make the decisions for you. And you don't pretty much have a say in it. So pretty much you're part of it. So you pretty much sign on to a family, but they make the decisions for you. That's in a sense, what a conservativeship is. And that's what he's claiming it was. So he's claiming that the Tuohys did not actually adopt him. And the Tuohys, of course, they claim this is a lie. I mean, I can't say anything more on that. That's just what I know so far, but this is really sad to hear. Because Orr had a decent NFL career, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens, played a few seasons. Of course, he's been out of the league for some time now, but I'm also hearing that the movie The Blind Side, I guess he didn't really like it. Not to mention I also heard that he didn't make any money off of it, but the Tuohys' biological children actually did for their college careers. They got all the money and he didn't, from what I understand. So this is what I know, and it's a sad situation. It's sad that it's come to this. I don't know how and the why, but all I know is this is terrible. And hopefully both sides get this solved out, I don't know who's exactly in the right or wrong. Both could be in the right, both could be in the wrong. But, man, oh man, I never thought I'd hear something. This is something I definitely did not expect to hear on the radar, but here we are. And it's really a shame that this family, or the family that Michael Orr thought he was a part of, and things are falling apart between the two sides. And I just hope they figure things out, because this is a pretty negative news story, to say the least. So again, what I've just told you, that is all I know. So he claims that that Michael Orr claims that the Tuohys never adopted him. Rather, they signed him to a conservatorship type of relationship. So, and I would think he's made quite a bit of money. So I don't think this has anything to do with money, because he's made quite a bit from playing in the NFL. I just think it could have been that he found out something that the Tuohys were doing behind his back that he does not appreciate. We don't know. So that's about all I know, but really, really sad news story. And I just hope that these two sides can find a way to come together and talk things out and fix things once and for all, even if they have to go separate ways. That's all I'll say about this. All right, sports fans, on to this day in sports history. And on this day, the 16th of August, 2008, Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt, the GOAT, sets new world record of 9.69 seconds to win the coveted 100-meter gold medal at the Beijing 2008 Summer Games, or Summer Olympics. That Usain Bolt, fastest man alive, fastest man I've heard of. All right, sports fans, that's all I got for this week. And before I forget, I'm going to be on vacation this upcoming week, so there will be no Waxon Wednesday this upcoming week, because I will be in Alabama on vacation and catching some fish. All right, sports fans, that's all I got for this week's Waxon Wednesday. This is Jake Waxman from Two Guys Talk Sports, signing off.